today you are going to talk about an important issue in the salmon diet. It's about the lipid level in the salmon diet after transition from freshwater to the seawater. After transition of the salmon from freshwater to the seawater, the body ability to use the fat in the diet for energy production is very high. But this comes with some side effect issues. For example, if we have high fat in the feed, then the feed pellet stability is not so good because high fat makes this pellet is not so solid, which means they are crack easily in the water and we lose much content in the water. And the other thing is that the fat costs us money, which means we increase the fat, we increase the cost of the diet. Another thing that if we don't put enough fat in the diet, which means the body can use other source of energy. One of them is the protein. So if the body uses the protein for energy, it will increase the ammonia secretion in the water and makes the water quality at very low level, which affect the salmon growth in a negative way. To solve this problem, for the fat pellet, we can increase the fiber content. As they already have a good effect on the health and the intestinal bacteria, and by the end, the growth of the fish. Also, fiber have some effect on the stability of this pellet in the water. Another is the cost. If we need to decrease the level of the fat, and to decrease the cost, we need to increase the fat utilization efficiency, which means fat absorption and fat digestion and absorption, and fat breakdown in the body. In this case, we can use the bile acids. The last one is the ammonia. As we know, the fish consider three sources of energy. Start with carbohydrate, and then if it's not available, they go to the fat, and if it's not available, they go to the protein. But the protein is the most expensive component, so all the time we are trying to spare this protein for growth instead of producing energy. So if we adjust this kind of fat, this kind of energy source, we keep the protein for growth, not for energy. In this case, it's about 30% in the diet. Some factors they make it higher, some factors they make it lower, but it's around 30. So we have three factors. The first one is to replace some of this fat with fibers, and the other thing is to use the bile acid to increase the efficiency of using this fat in the diet and then in the metabolic system. And the last one, if we do these two, we are going to save the protein for growth, not for energy production. So here we are going to tell you that if you transfer your salmon from the freshwater to the seawater, you need to consider the fat. In the case you need to decrease this fat to avoid some side effect, you need to increase the fiber and decrease the carbohydrate, and at the same time you increase the bile acid inclusion in the salmon diet. Thank you.